Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maida and you're watching Maida Pours. Thank you so much for joining me today. If it's your first time here, you are very welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, well, welcome back, friend. So good to see you again. So, what do we got going today? Well, first of all, this is the second Pouring Coast to Coast collab, and I am actually second to last. So if you haven't watched the earlier videos, please be sure to go back and watch them. If this is premiere day, I'm hoping you're following the train, but if it's not premiere day, I'm gonna be putting a playlist in my description, so you can be sure to catch all of the videos in this really incredible collaboration. We're having so much fun doing this, guys. It's just been an incredible experience. I'm excited to do so many more. So today's lineup started off with Tara, and then went on to Britt Clayton Designs, and then Chris Jezik was just before me. Now it's me, Maida Pours, and closing us off today in the finale will be Garrick Brown Art Studio, so be sure to jump right to his video after this one. Now, what did I paint today? Well guys, this is a grand experiment. I tried out my first transparent base coat layered painting, and I think it turned out okay. I'm a little on the fence. Maybe I should have stopped at one layer. I did go and I went and did two. I like how it turned out with two, but then I was looking at the video of the first layer and wondering if I made a huge mistake in covering it up. So you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think, but please be kind. So without any further ado, I'm not gonna keep you waiting. We are gonna get to painting. Let's go.
Okay guys, we're just gonna jump right in here and go on the journey of this painting together. It is a sped up journey, because if it was a real-time journey, this video would be about 3 hours long or so. So we are gonna speed it up a lot, but the first step was getting this golden background down, and I was going for an ombre effect here. I had my richest color on the left, which I used a 24 karat gold in deco art, and in the middle I used my heavy body golden fluid acrylic, iridescent gold fine, and then on the right I believe I blended that iridescent gold fine with my iridescent pearl fine, and that's created the lightest shade on the right hand side there. And then I pulled that iridescent pearl fine to help it blend as well. And I was going for an ombre effect, and yeah, I got it. I'm gonna So here it is all dry, several weeks later actually, and the first step is going to be laying down the pouring medium. And this is my standard concoction, is what I would call it. It's not really measured. It's majoritively Floetrol. I put in a dash of the Liquitex pouring medium and a little bit of water to thin it down. Not much water at all, very little bit. And I'm just trying to smooth it out first with my spatula, and then you'll see me spin it out. I really don't know what I'm doing here. This is my first painting of this technique I've ever tried. It's a big experiment. In fact, my prediction is a lot of people will think I experimented too far with this one. Should have just stopped at one layer. I went for two. Spoiler. You'll have to let me know what you think at the end. So I am using, what am I? I'm like describing to you what I'm going to do. I'm laying down my colors here. We've got Payne's Gray, my all-time favorite, Electric Metallic Blue, which is an Arteza color, and then another Arteza here. It's like Pearl Lime Green, I believe. Folk Art Teal Topaz, another metallic iridescent gold fine, iridescent pearl fine, and then carbon black on top. And I did not use a lot of paints for these first layer. That's not a lot of paint on the canvas there. And I'm blowing it out with my tube. It's just tubing. My partner is a mechanic guy, and he had some tubing and he cut that for me. I love it though. It's great. It's a great tool. I'm going to bring in for a close-up here. And I just think this first flower was so pretty. It doesn't really dry this way, but this makes me realize I really do need to learn how to bloom, because if I knew how to bloom, I could get it to dry this way. I would not call these flowers blooms. I would call them blowout blossoms, because I'm not mixing my paint in any special way here. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of this first layer and put a little music to it, because I put down several more flowers. Okay, so this is the first layer, totally wet, and that first layer is going to dry translucent. And when this was actually happening in real time, I had like no faith that this was actually going to dry to show the gold base underneath. But it did, definitely did. And I'm going to show you that in a second here. But I do love it with a white background, and I've actually done a similar painting, blue flowers with a white background, and I kind of want to do another one. I'll link that other painting up here somewhere. But we are about to jump into the results, so let's get to them. Here it is. And I'm going to be honest, you guys. Maybe I shouldn't have painted over it. But I did, so we need to move on and get over it. But let's take a moment to appreciate this pretty painting that existed once upon a time. So it really reminds me of Japanese screen printing, kind of. And yeah, I just really wanted to test the limits and boundaries of the technique and see if I could do a second layer and get a three-dimensional feel. And I was in an experimentation mode, so I went for it. And I really do want to hear people's opinions. Be nice, don't be mean, but let me know what you think. First layer, second layer, should I have stopped here? Here's the second layer. So just layering it again with the Floetrol Liquitex. I think I forgot to put water in the second layer, and kind of wish I put that little drop of water. I didn't though. And I also stretched it out over the sides for the second layer because I really wanted it to fully cover the sides and have these smooth edges. So I do immediately start laying more paint down than I did in the first layer. I did want to have a more like vibrant, bold top layer. I considered trying to make them like identical, and I might do that because I did have a lot of fun with this painting. I kind of want to play with this technique. Now this first flower was a little bigger than I was going for, but in the end it kind of gave a nice grounding focal point for the composition, so I think it worked out. I didn't do nearly as many flowers in this second layer, and I did try to make them bigger overall, as I had mentioned, but they do sort of get progressively smaller as I go. Because that first one was like, whoa, that was a little too big. Wasn't going for quite, but like I said, it worked out with the composition in the end. So I think I put down a total of 5 flowers in this second layer. And I left out all of the gold. I'm not sure why. It was a executive decision in the moment. And I kept them just like really blue focused. And I also put more metallic in the second layer because I wanted the colors to not just get kind of fall through the Floetrol, and the metallics definitely do. They're stronger. They dry more vibrant. Also, just using more paint helps it to dry a little more vibrant. I was really minimal with the paint on that first layer, but I wanted to see more color in the second layer, so I put down more color. Also more metallics, because I knew those would kind of dry stronger. And here's a close-up, and again, I really like that white background, even though I know it's going to dry translucent, or have faith that it will. It did. But it just seems like, I'm like, really? I'm going to see the gold again? It's just bizarre to me. But I do love it. And are you excited to see those dried results? Because they're coming up. Here we go.
The dried results. Here they are. And it is pretty cool. You gotta admit this dried cool. You can really see, I've got to admit that this dried cool. But again, I am still on that fence about that first layer. But I do love how you can distinctly see the top and the bottom. I just think that's such a cool effect, so I had to give it a shot. Now, if you guys like this painting and if you like acrylic pour paintings, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing, because acrylic pouring is what I do here. And also be sure to stay tuned and follow along. Chris Jezik is up next, and if you're not here on premiere day, well, please go ahead and check out the playlist in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.